What is up, Astros fans, and happy Friday. I'm Jeff Balke with your 5-Minute Friday Astros update. I've decided to kind of go backwards cap Fridays, forward cap rest of the time. I don't know. It's just a thought. Maybe I'll reverse that sometime. Who knows? Astros optioned Dylan Coleman this week. The Astros had acquired him in the offseason. The guy just can't find the strike zone. Look, the Astros are still convinced that he has the stuff to pitch at the big league level. You know, we've seen this before with pitchers who have the right stuff to pitch there, but just can't get control, and that's really his problem. He's got to throw strikes. GM Dana Brown, though, admitted for the first time this week that the team is looking to the trade market to improve the roster, which is kind of interesting. If you look at it, the team has a question mark really just in the 5th and 6th innings. Great starters, great back end of the bullpen, with Hader, Presley, and Abreu. It's those middle innings that are the real question mark, right? Right now, they're filled with Rafael Montero and Ronel Blanco and Brandon Bielak and Bennett Souza and Seth Martinez. Montero's been okay in spring break. He's only pitched a few innings. But Bielak is the interesting one. He hasn't been very good. He's got a 7.36 ERA in 7 1/3 innings, but he's out of options. So he can't, if the Astros were to try and send him to the minors, well, he'd have to be waived and he'd have to clear waivers first, which he probably wouldn't. Montero's got a contract. He's not going anywhere. But the situation with Bielak is weird. I sort of question that. Like, does it make sense to just keep him on the roster? I mean, maybe for the first couple of weeks because Verlander's out and on the IL, and Bielak has started. So he and Blanco can piggyback a game or something like that, which makes sense. But after that, I don't know. If they make a trade, I think that some of that might round itself out. But the whole situation in that middle feels kind of muddy, which I guess is why they're checking the trade market. Same problem exists for John Singleton. He's hitting under 200 for the spring, no homers. He wasn't great last year except for that 2-homer game. Meanwhile, Joey Loperfido has an 819 OPS and also bats left-handed. So, but he still has options for the minors. And guess what? John Singleton doesn't. I wonder if Singleton wouldn't clear waivers. I mean, that's how the Astros got him last year. So this is all nitpicking on how good, because the Astros are so good. I mean, don't look now, but the outfield rotation, Jake Meyers had his second home run of the spring. He has a 1.222 OPS. Chas McCormick is hitting 429 with a 1,003 OPS. Kyle Tucker, a 1,111 OPS. And Mauricio Dubon hitting 579 with a 1408 OPS. I mean, I know it's spring training, but good Lord. Those are some gaudy numbers. And that doesn't even count Yordan Alvarez. So fingers crossed they can keep it up, especially Jake Meyers. I mean, look, if Jake Meyers can just hit well, I mean, it's a big deal for the team. A couple other small things. According to Major League Baseball players on MLB.com, Jose Altuve is the 3rd friendliest infielder in the game behind Freddie Freeman and Francisco Lindor. It doesn't really surprise me. He's a pretty affable gentleman. And from The Athletic, a story today, I guess it was yesterday, came out ranking the best wild card era teams, basically any team, a franchise since 1995, ranking who's been the most successful. And if not for the 300 loss seasons, the Astros would be in 5th. They're 6th, right behind the Boston Red Sox. They have a pretty interesting scoring methodology for doing it. It seemed very fair. Yankees are way up at the top of that, as you might imagine. Dodgers are way up there too, and along with the Braves. Since 1995, when you consider that's, the Astros are one of the best teams in baseball, period. One of the best franchises in baseball. They continue to be. Why wouldn't they be? So I kind of love a list like that because even though you're like, oh man, we're behind the Red Sox and whatever else, Astros, they're 6th best in the wild card era, 95 to 2024. I mean, 30 years of greatness is pretty great. Like I don't want to take any of this for granted. Okay, that's it for me. I will be back next week with a full show, hopefully with Mike Stanton on, who is going to be joining me going forward, which I'm very, very excited about. Keep subscribing, leaving those comments. Feel free to hit me up on the socials at Believe in Astros or at Jeff Balke. Obviously, love to hear from you guys. What do you think about the weird middle relief situation? What do you think about John Singleton? Love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, it's a Friday, so the weekend is coming. Let's be happy about it. It might be rainy in Houston. Whatever. Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. And as always, go Astros.